We're laying in bed. I open TikTok and I see our former president being shot at. How did someone get on the roof? The last time I rode a horse, I got bucked off and stomped on. A lot of people thought we were on a baby moon. And then it's just...
Stop. You're freaking me out.
And you see the shark. All of a sudden, someone jumps in the ocean. You're like, someone jumped in the ocean.
I feel like I need to just leave this podcast and let you just like have your own. What would have happened if he actually did die? What's up, happy and healthy?
Right. We are back.
Hi, guys. Welcome back to the podcast.
It's good to be back.
I know. Well, it's not like you were gone that long.
Listen, guys, I'm in a good mood today because we are back in Texas, which is why you might be wondering, dude, why are you wearing a cowboy hat?
Why are you wearing a cowboy hat?
You know, entering the state of Texas, I just felt good, man. My testosterone went up almost immediately.
Oh, yeah.
I think I want to buy a horse. I think being out of America for so long just makes me appreciate just like our horse culture here in Texas.
Baby, have you ever ridden a horse?
I have, actually.
Oh, that's good to know.
You know, the last time I rode a horse, I got bucked off and stomped on.
No.
I was like 12 years old. I haven't been back on a horse
Are you
since.
sure that you want to buy a horse then? That doesn't sound like a very favorable situation.
So, true story. I'm riding a horse. I'm 12 years old. Cover your ears. I had a crush on a girl. You know,
my God, how dare you?
And, you know, my type was horse girl back in the day.
You liked horse girls?
I grew up in the country. You know, all the girls were.
That's so funny.
You know, is horse girls? I think that's derogatory.
I think there's a negativity around horse girls.
But anyway, this lady who was my horse trainer, she was putting me on the horse, right? Because I went to horseback riding lessons.
No, you did not.
I did.
Why am I just finding this out?
It's a painful memory that I have in my life.
You suppressed it.
And so she puts me on this horse. The horse's name is Mary. I still remember.
Wow.
You know, and Mary ironically gave birth to a baby
Jesus?
horse. Yeah.
Did you write Jesus?
Joseph was the father. I'm just kidding. I got on this horse, and within a second, I got on, and it was supposed to go. I was supposed to just walk, trot. I think you're supposed to say.
Mm-hmm. You're supposed to go.
I went immediately, dude. I was like in Wyoming at a rodeo. Literally bucked me off. I'm flying into the air, and I land, and I look up, and the horse's hooves. Horton Hears a hooves.
I know, right?
The horse's foot, however you say it. I think it's hooves. I should know this.
I think you're a rancher.
I'm a freaking rancher. I should know what a horse's foot is called.
Hooves.
Comment down below what a horse's foot is called.
I think it's called hooves.
Yeah, I think so. It just doesn't sound right.
Hoofs? No, that doesn't sound even more right.
Stomps me on my butt cheek.
Oh, she spanked you.
And I'll tell you what, I cried, but it was one of those things where I got hurt. It should have hurt a lot worse than it did. But I felt like it was such a traumatic experience that I just cried. And it was weird, though, because it didn't actually hurt. But I was crying because I was so shocked I just got stomped by a horse. So my crush is looking at me.
What was her name?
I don't remember. But I'm faking.
Coincidentally.
I'm faking this injury hard. I'm like grabbing my leg. And I know eternally, for some reason, it didn't hurt that bad. It felt like a spanking.
Why did you fake it?
It felt like when you were a kid and you got a spanking and you needed to fake cry because you needed your parents to think it hurt.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening in the moment. And my mom, everyone's panicking. They think something's broken. Of course, this is a massive horse. And two people pick me up. Like one person has my shoulders, one person has my legs.
Why are you drama king?
They take me back to the barn. They lay me down on this table and they strip my pants off
in front of your crush.
Here's the worst part about it. I'm wearing Abercrombie hearted underwear. It's like Valentine's Day boxer briefs from Abercrombie. And I'm laying there and my crush walks in and I was mortified.
So she saw you in your underwear.
She saw me, my pink hearted Abercrombie underwear. And the only reason why I bought that underwear is because the most popular kid in my elementary school, he had the same underwear. Don't ask me how I know that.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to know.
I only know that because he told everybody. Not
I
because
have so many questions.
Not because I saw them. He was just like, guys, Abercrombie. He was a big Abercrombie, like 12-year-old. It was kind of weird.
Did you like burn those underwear afterwards?
Any-
Like they were clearly bad luck. And why did you fake it for your crush?
So
Like, wouldn't you want to be macho
I'm
man?
still so far into this lie of being hurt that my leg doesn't hurt. Everyone's so concerned. And so they're like, okay, they like tap around, like, okay, they're like, nothing's broken. And I faked the limp. The rest of the day,
gosh.
I'm out there just faking the limp.
I could so see you doing
Here's
that.
the worst part is about 4 hours later, you know, when you're a kid and you're fake, you're like being sick, so you don't have to go to school, but then you see everyone playing at 2 or 3 o'clock, but you're sick and your parents are like, you can't go outside, you're sick. And it's like, dang, I've been faking it. And so some of the kids were playing football and I go over there to play football with them. And
suddenly you could
my
run.
leg hurt, and my mom literally called me out. She was just like, okay, you're not actually hurt. And I was like, yeah.
You're like, I've been healed.
But guys, that's my
what an introduction.
That's the cowboy that fell. I'm the cowboy that after that moment, I couldn't step back into those cowboy boots, you know?
That should be your book title, is The Cowboy That Fell.
Yeah. But is there anything that you want to say to me before I take this cowboy hat off?
You can take it off.
You sure?
Yeah, that was such a dramatic story. I love it. That's so funny. I could totally see you doing that. I could see you faking the limp.
For anyone who's watching, like visually, did you see the hat change? The hat change was good.
That was quick.
No one saw my hair. My hairline. That's like a man who's trying to protect his hairline is something women or like girls don't understand. A guy who doesn't love his hairline, like we all know, I don't love my hairline. It has days where I'm like, oh, the hairline looks good, but I'm in a moment right now where the hairline doesn't look good. And the way that I just changed the hat, I think should go down in history books.
I feel like I need to just leave this podcast and let you just like have your own. Like, I feel like I'm just here. You've rambled for 10 minutes straight about your hat and your hairline and your horses. This is supposed to be happy and healthy, not hairline and horses.
Okay, so how you doing?
Y'all, that was the wildest introduction I've ever had on a podcast. Leave it to my husband to do that. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. I'm just going to do this while he puts on his headphones. Give me a chance to speak. We just got back from France last night. Probably got home around like 7:30. So again, if you guys don't know who we are, my name's Janine. This is Kaleb. I post every Tuesday. We do Christian topics. We have guests. We just had Claire Wolford on, a Dallas Cowboys cheerleader. Kaleb comes on a lot. I do solo episodes. I just did one last week on sex, baby.
That was a good pod.
I didn't realize that one would bless you guys so much. Thank you for the feedback. But yeah, there's some people that have been sharing their stories with me, and I love hearing about that. And I was honestly, y'all, I was so nervous to post the podcast because it is a very taboo topic and also very controversial for some reason when I just don't think it needs to be.
Yep.
So I was like, we're just going to be bold and we're just going to do it. And I'm really glad you guys are enjoying it.
This year of Happy and Healthy has been awesome.
It's grown a lot.
It's so cool to see. You do good topics, you bring on guests, but then it's so fun to sit here and shoot the sheesh like we always do. And it's been cool to see.
I love doing this.
It's cool to see. I'm excited to see like when we're in our 50s, I think we'll still be potting. You know what I mean?
You really think so?
Oh, I think so.
50?
Yeah. Imagine being on the podcast and having our like 12-year-old son in between us.
I think when we're 50, our kids are going to be 20, baby.
Speaking of kids, a lot of people thought we were on a baby moon.
They did.
A lot of people, man, think we were up to something in France.
Let's just rewind for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't know, you don't care, it's totally fine. But we were in France. We just got back. We were there for a week. And so we got back last night. I'm not going to lie. The jet lag is real.
Especially when you're pregnant, you know.
Who's pregnant?
I'm just kidding.
Do you know someone pregnant with jet lag? Not me.
I'm just kidding.
That was crazy thing to throw out there.
That was wild.
So if I do seem a little out of it, that's why. Kaleb he's in his zone right now.
I'm in a good mood right now because
I don't know. You didn't even sleep that much. I literally slept 12 hours. I kid you not.
I fell asleep at 9 and woke up at 6. It was great.
I don't know how you're so lively.
Because I'm excited to be back in Texas. Should I put the cowboy hat back on?
No.
Okay.
We can let him rest.
No, I'm
Cowboy Kaleb.
I'm pumped to be back home. Like so excited. I feel like I'm back on my routine. But anyway,
it's so crazy. So, okay, yeah. So we were in France for a week. We want to kind of do a little recap of that trip. But it was so fun. But truly, there is nothing better than home. Like, you get home and you're like, my bed, my sheets, cold water, air conditioning. I mean, all the things that Europe doesn't typically have, like not having to pay for water. That's kind of nice.
Europe had cold water.
No, well, you had to add ice cubes in it. They always serve you regular tap water.
Yeah.
And I love Europe, don't get me wrong. Love, love, love. We had so much fun. Mm-hmm. We are not pregnant.
No.
For people wondering. It was so funny. Like the way that you guys see our photos, there was one photo where Kaleb, like at the last minute, moved up his hand a little too much. And it was like in this certain placement on my stomach.
Yeah.
The amount of DMs I got from that photo.
Well, a lot of people go on Europe trips right before they get pregnant too.
That's true.
But I can say, and I will lift my Simple Modern Tumblr to this, and I can solemnly promise that we are indeed not pregnant, nor was that a trip to get pregnant. Here's the thing, though. There's always a percentage chance.
Well, no.
Yeah, there is.
Of what?
Getting pregnant. It can happen.
Well, for sure. But your girl just started her period today, which is why I feel like doo-doo.
Yeah. So that's to take pressure off your shoulders to know that, guys, leave my wife alone. She's not pregnant. But if she was, I would tell you. I would.
What do you mean?
I would tell them.
No, you wouldn't. We would do an official announcement.
I can't lie to the people.
You're gonna have to for 12 weeks probably because we're not gonna announce it like this. That's crazy.
Do not want to wait. I'll tell you this. It's my biggest beef in life.
Yeah, you don't like when people wait.
I get it. You get pregnant. You have to wait 12 weeks because, you know, if you have a miscarriage, you don't have to tell everybody. Mm-hmm. But I kind of think that you want to tell. I don't know. I'm not the girl. But right. I do think selfishly getting pregnant, like I don't want to keep that. I can't keep secrets that long from my guy friends.
I know. We would probably tell our people first, obviously.
But we don't have to wait. Do we have to wait 8 weeks?
I don't know. No, you wait 12 weeks, technically.
12?
Yeah, that's you're past your first trimester.
12 weeks is...
I don't know if we'll do that. I haven't thought fully about that yet.
3 months, man.
But I will say our friend group is starting the process of having babies. A lot of my friends, they've been married for 2 years now. They are getting into their 30s. A lot of them are like, we're ready to go. Let's go. It's just been crazy watching this like next chapter in life. I was journaling about it today and I was like, okay, Lord, I'm entering into a new season. You know, I'm 30. I'll turn 31 in March. And it's begun. Like most of my friends, Danny's on her third baby. Ellie's having her first. Sarah Rose has her first. I know a lot of girls in my friend groups, they're starting to try for their first. It's like the next chapter that I feel like I'm almost like, whoa, how did we get here so fast?
I know. I was on the plane and I'm like trying not to. My eyes are watering.
I know. Are you okay?
My eyes water sometimes randomly. And I'm not actually like sad. I'm feeling a lot of emotion right now. It was a song by Luke Combs, and it was talking about like his father.
Oh yeah.
And growing up, how quickly time has flown by. And I was just like, man. But the song was about his dad, like taking his son to baseball games and just being like a good father and everything. And I'm just pumped up for that. Mm-hmm. Like I'm so excited for that. And we always have to preface because there are a lot of people out there who struggle, who can't have children, XYZ. I never want to be insensitive to that. And I also pray that we can get pregnant because sometimes it's hard. Sometimes there's complications. And so I don't want to be ignorantly or naively speaking that it's just going to happen immediately we start trying. Mm-hmm. But it is like crazy to think. I feel like yesterday I was going to Mother's Day out, you know, and I was a kid.
What do you mean?
Like I was like 5 and 6 years old and it's a lot of like pressure.
Oh, yeah.
And you almost feel like this imposter syndrome of like, how am I going to be a dad?
Oh, yeah.
I can barely take care of myself. You know, being a cowboy is just like, it's really hard, you know, waking up in the morning and getting the eggs
herding your sheep and stuff.
And riding horses, you know, with my Abercrombie underwear. It's like, it's really difficult.
You'll see what I deal with every day. I will say though, we're not there yet, so don't like make any assumptions. But like, I mean, we are thinking and dreaming about kids, and it was so funny. Like every 2 seconds on the trip, I would see somebody with their baby or like their little toddler, and I'd be like, "Oh, baby!" I'm like, "Look at their kid. Their kid is so cute." Like I feel like that's gonna be what our kids are gonna look like, and I just kept saying it, and it was just getting me really, really excited. But it is definitely something that I feel like it changes your life so much. And I even feel like there's something social media wise where people almost don't want you to have kids. because they don't want you to lose your relatability, or like you're in the same season as life as them. And I think that's going to be something really interesting. Is there's single girls who follow me, and they follow me for a very long time, and you're watching your favorite creators or whoever grow up and change, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh dang, like now we're not relatable anymore. I think that's going to be interesting, because I obviously want to always share my life and be relatable, but at the same time there are going to be things where we're all human beings, we're gonna have different seasons, and it would make me sad if someone was like, oh, I don't want to follow her anymore because she has a baby. It's gonna happen though. It's kind of weird.
I don't think you're gonna be like a mommy blogger by any means. I think we'll balance sharing our kids. I don't think we want to make like our kids the center of your universe and content and everything. So I think honestly, you're just going to keep doing what you're doing. I don't think it's going to change that much, but yeah, you're going to have haters, especially as a mom and being on social media.
Yeah. Because even for example, me getting married and having you in my content, there's been people that I think that would prefer to see single Janine.
Dude, people.
And I miss your old content when it wasn't you and your husband, blah, blah, blah.
People will come for me.
Yeah. And I've just seen that. And I've just been kind of like, okay, I'm married. I'm with this person every single day. Of course, I'm going to share my husband, and we do almost everything together. So it's just interesting when you see people that say the quote unquote, I miss the old you, but it's like everyone evolves and has to move on at some point. And so.
Yeah, you're not going to ride horses forever.
Is this whole podcast going to be about horses? I feel like you're the horse girl here.
Yeah, I could be, but it's like dormant. I'm like a dormant volcano, and it's just randomly. I'm going to look at you, and I'm going to go. There's a song by George Strait. It's called "I Can Still Make Cheyenne."
Maybe that's a heartbreak song.
That's a heartbreak song, but I'm going to look at you one day, and I'm going to go, babe, we're moving to Cheyenne, Wyoming. We're going to have a Yellowstone moment.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Okay. We're laying in bed.
Yeah.
It's 2 a.m, and I open TikTok, and I see our former president being shot at.
Oh, yeah. For a second, I was like, where's he going with this?
And in the moment, as I'm watching it, because I don't have any context to what happened, and I was like, our former president is dead. And I'm immediately going into, because I see him get clipped in the ear, and I'm like, I don't even know if he's still getting shot at, like what's happening. And my mind immediately goes to, oh no, if he dies, we're in France. America is going to go
in an uproar.
A former president gets shot. The market's going to tank. You're going to see an uprise, a civil unrest. They're going to start blaming people. We don't know what happened. Who did this? How did this happen? And all the things. And I'm sitting in bed, and I wake you up, and I tell you, you were like so confused.
I mean, it was late. It was like 2 a.m, and I wake up, and Caleb's like, babe, and he starts like telling me all the information. I'm like, what? And I mean, all I heard at first was like Trump got shot. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, he died. And that was so crazy just to hear that and think about like, what would have happened if he actually did die? Like, I don't know. And us being in France, it felt like we were so disconnected, and we were on a completely different time zone. It was just crazy. And the whole story, in my opinion, is just a little weird. I don't know. Something just feels weird with it.
It was incompetent. Like, how did that happen?
I don't know.
How did someone get on the roof? I mean, there's someone to blame. I think, I don't know. It's like there's more reports coming out about just the negligence behind it. And I think, I don't want to speak on before more reports have come out, but it's pretty surreal. Like living through that. We've now lived through a pandemic happened, and then a president getting shot. There's just so much unrest. I mean, we're in a weird place. Like, I don't know whether, like, do you think we have 40, 50 more years are we going to be 80 years old and America's just going to be the same? Or is there going to be because right now the country is so split. But what I hope happens through this process, I hope that as Americans, we can unify. I think there's a part of me that has a paranoid side, but there's also a half glass full side that I have where I think when most Americans, when they saw Donald Trump almost get killed live, I think there was a reaction from all sides going, that's not right. And that is horrible. And that as Americans, we have to stick together. At the end of the day, we're all Americans.
Yeah.
And we need to stick together.
Well, even from a Christian's perspective, like that would be murder. And that is one of the like abominations in the Bible is like, it literally says like, do not kill innocent hands or something, like don't have blood on your hands for an innocent person. I mean, Bible literally is super clear in the 10 Commandments, like do not kill.
And murderers won't inherit the kingdom of God. as well.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just insane. And so regardless, again, like I even made a post on my Instagram story. I was like, regardless of any president, it is wrong and it is detestable and it would be so shocking despite the president. It's just horrible.
Oh my gosh. If Joe Biden was shot and killed, it would be horrible.
I mean, there would be an uproar as well.
Yeah. And rightfully so. Like any president, no matter what. Now,
it's just crazy.
Here is the scary part is just information getting out. It's like you don't know what to believe anymore. Like you don't know what reports and this and that. And I think it's just making way for all sorts of types of conclusions being drawn out of these situations. And so I'm just thankful, Janine. I think that for a lot of Americans, it's like, hey, let's tone it down a little bit. Let's tone how we speak about political leaders in a certain way because it's just not good. It's not.
Well, because we're realizing that, people say a lot of things and it actually causes a movement and it causes people to feel a certain way against a particular president because everyone is so heated and angry and everyone uses their platforms to speak about it, which is fine, but you're seeing this create this further divide and it's getting so ugly that I think people are like, oh, shoot. Like this actually has repercussions and implications by our words and the way, the rhetoric that we speak. And so I feel like, man, if this country and these people, if we could all be more caring and careful of what we say and just if we all just followed God's ways more in the way we're called to treat and love each other, things would be better.
You know what I wish? I think there was a certain time where, your neighbor across the street, you knew he was a Democrat or you knew he was a Republican. And it's just like, what's up, Dorothy?
Yeah.
I know you're a Republican. I still love you. And there's just like not this, hey, if you're a Democrat,
you're XYZ.
If you're a Republican, you're XYZ. It's like, that's what makes this country so great is people have difference of opinions. Now, I agree that we should be able to debate and we should be able to
have differences too.
And I do think you should stand. It's like if you don't stand for anything, you stand for nothing in your life. And so you should stand for something. It's so weird talking about this because I'm like even trying to tread carefully when it's just like, it's stupid. I should be able to get up here and say my opinion on what I think. And every American should have that ability and that right to be able to go, hey, I believe this. And someone to go, hey, I disagree with you, but I still love you. You're still my neighbor.
Right.
Not F you, you piece of crap. But yeah.
For example, again, and I talked about this on our Patreon actually, but like in the past, if you stood up for Trump, you would get absolutely canceled. Now, I feel like it's almost even the other way.
Yeah, babe. We are just super thankful that he didn't die. Who knows what would have happened?
But yeah, if you guys haven't seen the videos where it shows that if he didn't turn his head like a centimeter or something crazy.
I mean, at the last second, he moved his head.
It was going straight to his dome.
I think his head was like this. His head was kind of more straight. And then he turned it to the right. Like
so crazy.
There's actually a picture of the bullet that is just whizzing by his head.
Did you see the TikTok though of the lady that was behind him?
Yeah.
Who she was filming. It's the second he started getting shot, she never ducked and she started filming. It
was a little crazy.
That everyone was like, what was up with that lady? I was like, she didn't react. She wasn't scared. And she just stood there and was like filming. It was like she was trying to get a raw footage of Trump dying.
There was like a conspiracy about her, but I heard that she's been to a lot of his events and she's like a real supporter. But it was weird to see some of the reactions in the back. There were some people that like they weren't fazed by what was happening.
How did they not flee out of that whole room and just freak out? Like how, if someone was shooting at me, I would literally, I'd be gone in 2 seconds. I would be so scared.
I think because of the sound.
Was it quiet?
It wasn't quiet, but I think some people maybe were confused what was happening.
There's just something that I'm like, how did this 20-year-old kid climb on a building when I've seen videos where I literally even saw this like professional sniper said, he's like, I don't understand how this happened. He's like, I'm a professional sniper. I'm level 1, which is the top sniper. He said that they patrol the area months in advance and check every single vantage point to see what possibly someone could do.
Yeah.
So you're telling me a 20-year-old got on that building?
Did you see what the Secret Service head person said? She said that the building had a slope on it. That's the reason why no one was on there, which is so stupid. Like,
really?
Construction workers are up fixing our roof. That's a slope. They're fine.
She said that there's a slope. That's
there
why
was
they
a
didn't go in there?
slope on the roof, so they said it was too dangerous for their Secret Service people to be on the roof.
Huh. And the 20-year-old kid got on there?
I know. And they said that he was on the roof for 20 minutes.
That's what I understand. This is what does not add up. When I heard it, I was like, how did someone tell the police 20 minutes prior? There's someone on the roof. There's someone on the roof. This guy's telling. They didn't do anything. He even had a GUN and still didn't get taken down. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm missing some information here, but it doesn't add up to me how they didn't take this guy down earlier.
I think they have to get approval to take down the suspect. We could sit here for hours and go, how did this happen? How did that happen? And I guess they said that the shooter that was on the roof, the local police enforcement I think his partner lifted him up. As he was looking on top of the building, that the guy pointed and he jumped and fell like 8 feet and landed on the ground and hurt himself.
The 20-year-old did?
No, the police officer.
No.
And they said that they went to their station chatter and reported the suspect. And if you see when Trump's talking, you can see the sniper on the roof start to move. And it looked like he had the suspect in his sights. But
you can see that from the video?
Yeah. Other people had a video camera of the sniper going, not the shooter, but
on Trump's
the
side.
Secret Service sniper. And I'm just like, man, I don't know how.
But if you see a 20-year-old kid with a gun pointing at the president, why wouldn't you go up there and tell 30,000 men to get there?
They should have rushed Trump off the stage.
Literally, or something.
No one's talking about this, but the man that died.
I know. I saw his daughter did a post.
It is,
so sad.
So sad. If I'm that family, I'm going, a former president, you're telling me that a 20-year-old kid, like if I'm the family, I have all these questions.
I'd be so mad.
Allegedly he was
covering his
kids.
I saw his daughter's post and that was so sad. But thankfully, he was a Christian. He's with the Lord now. That's like the beautiful hope of being a believer is like when you pass, you know you're going to see God and see Jesus for eternity, which is so sweet. And so I'm thankful he was at least a believer, but what a crazy thing. I mean, we were looking up all this stuff and I was just like, whoa. Like imagine if he actually were shot and we all saw this person in front of all of our TVs just in front of us.
Yeah, that would have been hard.
Horrible.
We all live in the same country. We all are Americans. And I would have had the same reaction if anybody else would have been shot. But I just think that this would have really put us in a position as a nation to go, what the heck are we doing as a country and as a society that has led us to this point? And there would have been a lot of healing that we would have needed from the Lord.
I mean, he was literally milliseconds away from dying.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
But I know a lot of our followers wanted us to speak on that, and it's a tough thing to speak on, but I think we're at a point where it's just like, we're going to talk about.
We should be able to speak about this stuff without being canceled or someone making all these crazy assumptions or opinions. And it is, my podcast. Like I should be able to speak about things and people not take it the wrong way. And if you do, I'm sorry, but we're just sharing our opinions.
I've said it before, and I still agree with this. Like in the Christian community, there's a lot of podcasters and people and stuff, and you never really know their opinion on things.
Yeah.
And so it's cool to hear you like give your opinion on things because you never know. They only either talk about the Bible and talk about like their faith, which is great, but you never really know like what they believe on certain things.
Right. Well, because if you do share your opinions, you've got to know you're going to face backlash.
Bashlack. Wait, lashback.
You said bashlack.
That is a...
wow, you need to go back to bed. That was the jet lag.
When I fell off the horse, I hit my head pretty hard.
Oh my gosh, we're going back to the horse. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. So y'all, this year has gone by so fast. What is something that you are proud of in 2024 so far? For me, it was my book. And now maybe what is something that you still want to accomplish? So life does go by so fast, and it is important to take a moment to celebrate your wins and then also look forward and then make adjustments for the rest of the year. And therapy can absolutely help you take stock of your progress and set achievable goals for the next 6 months. So I personally benefited so much from therapy, whether I was in premarital, I went by myself. It is truly what helped me find freedom by meeting a Christian therapist. But I just think in general, if you're ever struggling, you're needing someone to help you with coping skills or set boundaries or really just help you overcome any trauma in your life, therapy can be very beneficial. So if you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched matched with a licensed therapist and then switch therapists at any time for no additional charge, which is so amazing. So take a moment, visit betterhelp.com/happyhealthy today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/happyhealthy. I'm so tired. Oh my goodness. I'm like really struggling.
You're doing great. This is what happens when you sleep 12 hours.
I kid you not, I went to bed at 8:20 maybe, and I woke up at 7:30. It was almost 12 hours, and I'm still like, ugh. Okay, what was some of your highlights on our trip? And would you recommend the south of France to somebody?
Depends what you want. Depends who you are.
Give me some pros and cons. I know I have mine.
The pros are that when you go to a different country, I always recommended this to people. Actually, it's funny. I've never recommended this once.
I was like, what are you about to say?
Don't get the, I guess this might hurt your trip. You know how your international plan, one of the pros of the trip
finally got there.
Was I didn't have internet on my phone.
Yeah.
So I was only able to get on my phone when I had Wi-Fi. And I felt like it was like a detox for me.
It was really good.
All week, I wasn't on my phone.
You were so present.
I was so present. So that was a pro for me. I would say another pro was just getting to see you so happy.
He kept looking over and I was smiling.
I mean, I'll just be honest with you. Like, I love to travel, but I like to travel like 50% less than you do. Mm-hmm. And so I would be just as happy in Florida.
Right.
But seeing you that happy filled my cup up so much. And so just being able to be there for you was really cool. And being able to make these experiences with you, and we're not going to get this time back. We're young. We don't have kids. Mm-hmm. I would say another pro was my favorite part of the trip. We went golfing.
Oh, yeah. He's obsessed with the golf part.
And I realized I used to get mad at myself when I would travel because I would go somewhere. I don't want to sound ungrateful, but like I've never really liked to like sightsee and like walk around and stuff. If I can get like the competitive energy out, because I love to golf. I like to do things that going go-karting on vacation, going to like play games, like go surfing, doing something to get the adrenaline going. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And getting to play golf was so fun and like helped me enjoy the vacation more because it got that like adrenaline out that I needed.
I do think thankfully you and I are pretty similar in our travel style, but I don't mind like sightseeing. Like I loved walking around. I wanted to see the new neighborhoods. I wanted to see literally everything. Like, I just love it. I love traveling, as I've told you guys. And this was our first real international trip that we planned. Like, first was our honeymoon, which we just stayed at a resort. Then we did Israel, which they planned for us. And then that was it, right? That was our third international trip together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so this was like our thing. And I loved it because we got to go at our pace, slept in when we wanted to. We almost every day did sightseeing. We got on the train. I mean, I love everything. He kept looking over and I was just grinning. Like, I loved getting dressed up. I loved walking around. I loved trying their foods, getting on the train, seeing a new part of the country. I love, even though after a while, like you kind of start to miss hearing English, I love hearing all the different languages. I love guessing, like, okay, I think they're speaking that language. I just love the whole thing of being wrapped up in the culture, and you ask them questions and you learn about their currency and you learn about their culture. Like, I just think it's so sick.
It was, and I apologize if I sounded ungrateful. It is such a privilege to be able to travel. We're in a unique position where we're able to do something like that. So I'm so grateful for that. That being said, I've always struggled with homesickness since I was a little kid. Anytime I traveled anywhere, I would get homesick. I would get Sunday scaries.
Yeah.
I would get Sunday scaries. Every trip I go on, I get Sunday scaries at night. Mm-hmm. Almost every time. It's so weird. I get like a little anxious. And comment down below if this is you. And just put a poop emoji. My digestive system shuts off.
Like fails you.
When we travel. It's like, we're not working anymore. They're
on vacation.
My gut health goes, we're taking a day off. When you're 2-3 days into a travel and your stomach is hurting.
Oh yeah.
It's hard to like enjoy your present moment because you're like, I feel bloated. I'm so uncomfortable. I sound like a girl right now, but
you're the IBS girl.
I get like freaking hot flashes, dude.
He did.
And it's the worst, man. On top of that, I get the worst motion sickness. Mm-hmm. So I get motion sickness. My gut stops working. I get homesick. And so traveling is hard sometimes for me.
Yeah.
So when we got home, I was like,
America.
I was like, God bless America, man.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I didn't struggle with those. I will say though, after a week, I was like, yeah, I'm ready to go home. It's like after a while, you kind of are sick of eating out. You're wanting your own bed, your own food, your gym, your friends. So I think a week is a good max.
I actually never asked you. You asked me this question, the pros and cons. Like you never gave me your pros and cons of France.
Oh, pros and cons. Pros, the train. You can get literally to the coolest places in 6 minutes. Like Villefranche was our favorite 6-minute train ride. Or it was beautiful. We went to Ez. We went to Monaco. We went to, I think it's called Antibes. I don't know. Loved the train, even though we were late almost every day. Literally running to the train every time. And then I think beautiful. It's very beautiful. The water was warm. The water was refreshing. It was so pretty. Shopping was really good there, even though we literally did not buy a single thing.
I bought running shoes.
Oh, you bought running shoes because you forgot them.
Yep.
I literally did not buy a single thing. Oh, I bought a hair clip.
I'm going to go on a 10-mile run today, I think.
Okay. I wouldn't say this sounds really mean. Please don't come for me. The food was not the best.
Food was below average.
Like
because it felt all touristy spots.
Yeah, I don't know what it was, but I had my favorite was this truffle pasta that we had at this place called Boca. But everything else I was kind of like, that was good. But I wasn't like blown away. The sushi though. Sushi was fresh.
It was okay.
One restaurant was fresh. It was called La Vela. Fresh as sushi, but I wasn't like obsessed with the food.
I feel like we needed to go to the more local spots. For better food.
We just didn't know where to go, to be honest.
Yeah.
Another pro was just walking everywhere. You get to see the city super well that way. It was a beautiful city. Another con is the locals are not that friendly. However, France is kind of known for French people not really liking Americans. So
I felt like people were nice, but it was like,
I think the drivers were nice, like the drivers that we chatted with. But like I went to this coffee shop by myself the other day to go read my Bible, and they were just trying to kick me out. Like it was just very like aggressive and assertive, but maybe they don't know how to like speak our cadence to where it seems friendly in our terms. So there just could be just a cultural barrier there. But
and if they sense you're an American, a lot of the times they're just like,
but it's been like known that they don't like Americans, especially like in Paris. They think we're so annoying.
Most people think that?
Yeah.
Really?
You look it up for sure. Look it up.
Yeah.
But Americans can be annoying. Like
we have our selfies.
I tried to be very like aware of not being overly loud and overly picky and what?
I just had a thought.
What?
We were kind of annoying.
What did we do?
I'm at this restaurant and they get pizza and I look at the waiter who barely speaks English and I go, do you have ranch?
Oh, he's like, ranch. The guy goes, what?
He goes, what's ranch?
No, he didn't even say it. Like, he was like, what? And you go, ranch. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, sir, it's ranch.
But in my defense,
he was like, no.
They brought me a salad and they put ranch on the salad. So they had to have ranch.
They did?
Yeah.
They had ranch?
That's why I asked for it, but he didn't.
Oh, because he can't imagine mixing ranch with pizza.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's like, you stupid idiot.
Or he's just like, that's so disrespectful to the pizza.
Rude.
Yeah. Give me a couple more pros.
Pros was being with you. It was so fun. I love the weather. The weather was beautiful. I got to wear my summery clothes. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cool.
Okay. What's a con of being with me, traveling with me? You could be honest too.
Well, it kind of goes into what you were saying. He just, after a while, he's just done. Like I will be like, let's walk around more. Let's see what's going every store. Let's touch everything. Let's see everything. You are just done when you're done.
I'm done.
You're like moping. You're dragging your feet.
Hey.
Flinging around the tote. You're like, can I sit down? There was at one point.
I
was
don't
like,
say it like that.
You didn't say it like that. But there was one point where I was
You
like, babe,
always
I was like, if
exaggerate.
you're going to kill my vibe, I was like, just go sit at the coffee shop. And I like fully meant it in no shade or tea. I was like, why don't you go sit at the coffee shop by yourself, enjoy an afternoon. I'm going to go walk around the market. I gave you full permission, but you thought I was going to get you in trouble. But I wasn't going to.
My con with you is Janine is a professional looker. She just looks. She'll go into a place.
I just want to see things.
Go into a bookstore. She doesn't need a book. We go into a store we can't afford anything, and she wants to try on the pants, and then you're like, why are we trying on the pants that we're not going to buy? And then we go into she'll look at the menu and ask about food she's not going to eat.
That's true.
And I'm just like, for me, I hate wasting time. I don't like just seeing things just to see it. there has to be a purpose or a why.
Oh, not for me. I'm like, we're here.
I'm a why guy. I need a why. Like, okay.
Start with why. Simon Sinek book.
We're going into this little, antique shop. It's like, why? Why are we going in here? We're not going to buy anything.
I just want to see.
Yeah, that's so hard for me because
not me.
I think every guy can relate, and you girls can probably relate because this is your boyfriend. Everywhere we go, I look for the chair to sit down.
Oh, yeah.
And we went to this bookstore, which I don't know why we went because we're not buying a book.
I thought it was so cute in there.
Yeah, you thought the colors matched your outfit.
You think that they had my book in there?
No. Yeah, maybe. But I went into the kids' book section because they had a little chair. And this French girl starts making fun of me and laughing at me because I was sitting in the kids' bookstore in the
no, she was from the UK, baby.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What'd she say?
She said, "You let your husband sit in the children's section?" I said, "He did that all on his own."
Well, I didn't realize how creepy this was. I'm in this like kids zone.
And it had like the smallest little chair, and he was like, "I found a chair."
I'm in a kids zone in a different country, sitting in this small chair, just sprawled out, tired from my wife making me walk around everywhere. And I'm like, this actually looks really weird.
Yeah, I didn't think that it was weird until she said something, but she was also joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what's so funny. And the difference between us is like, I wanted to wake up and I was like, I literally just wanted to walk around the city. Like there was one point where he went to the gym and I was like, okay, I'm going to go have my own time. So we like found our own moments of like having our own time on the trip. I went to a coffee shop. I read my Bible. I walked around town. I just like literally went into stores and looked around. I wanted just to see like, what was the French Zara like?
Yeah.
And I did. And I didn't buy a single thing. I'm a professional looker.
Is another con with me is because for my own mental health, I have to work out.
No, yes and no. I mean, there was times where I was just like, okay, like we don't have time to work out today because we are doing a day trip, but you were like, I've got to get back. I've got to go to the gym. And that's fine. I was like, okay, go ahead, King, pop off. But I know that you need to at least have it 3 to 4 times a week. And so I just try to like let you know, like, hey, today, no gym. We're going to be gone all day.
That's hard for me.
I know.
It's not hard from a vanity standpoint. It's hard from just like getting my body flowing and the blood. Like I've been working out for 7 years straight, 5-6 days a week. I do not miss that no matter what. And now I'm flexible. There were some days where I didn't go, but it's hard for me. It's hard on my body when I don't get it moving.
I mean, I felt the same way. And I think that's why we work well together is because we both love to move. But for me, walking around the city was like my form where I was like, I just got in 20,000 steps. Like, I'm fine. Yeah. You were like, no, I need to lift some hard things.
What's another con?
It's very touristy in the summertime. I think what's hard is you're hearing like thousands of different languages. It's kind of confusing. No one's super helpful with the train. I would say pros is hearing different languages and cons is hearing different languages because you're like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know what anyone's saying. It almost gets a little overwhelming when you stop hearing English for so long. You're like, man, I just want to hear some English. But I don't know, just maybe tourism because every single spot we went to was so busy. We went to this bay called Billionaires Bay in Antibes and it was beautiful, but it was packed. And of course, like we're part of that. So can't really complain.
My beef with Europe or really anywhere, I'm a Florida guy.
Oh, we know.
Just raise your hand if you're a Florida person because the Florida beaches.
It's like that TikTok.
Beaches is a scary word. It always sounds like the B word. Anyways.
You're a little.
The Florida beaches, okay? White sand. Feels good on the feet. You can go on a beach run. The waves are fun because it's like they're big enough.
Yeah.
For like, boogie boarding or whatever.
You're a boogie boarder?
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Do you wear your flippers when you do that?
It's just, they're unmatched. I think the Florida beaches are the most underrated beach, like Seaside, Destin, the Gulf of Mexico. It is amazing. And so when I go to other beaches, I'm like, I don't know. I think Florida's the best.
Well, I will say the con too is that no one really told me, but the beaches there are rocks.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get in and out of the water and you are in pain. Your feet are just getting plummeted.
Yeah, I was like,
plummeted?
I turned to a person who lived there. I go, I didn't realize this was the Rocky Mountains, dude.
You did not say that.
No, I didn't.
That's why we went to Villefranche twice because the beach was so beautiful there.
People don't know what Villefranche is.
It's a city.
I'm like, can we get some ranch?
I need ranch. I'm like, Villefranche-sur-Mer. Kidding, I don't know. I'm not
Another con with traveling with you is when it's bedtime, Janine falls asleep. So I'm the person in the relationship who's lonely at night and I'm by myself And it's scary and it's lonely and it's sad when I look over and I'm not tired
Just like,
and you're just knocked out like Mike Tyson knocked out someone in boxing 20 years ago. Anyways, sports reference. Do you think the girls get my humor?
I think so.
You think? I got
comment if you do.
I got a little insecure there when I brought up that Mike Tyson joke.
Yeah, I could tell.
I was like, no one's going to be able to understand that. But yeah, no, sleeping with you is the greatest thing ever until you fall asleep.
I know. I can pass out in 2 seconds. I'm like, bye. And I roll over and I go into my cocoon. And then I'm like, see you tomorrow. I'm sorry.
Cocoon.
Yeah, I'm like my little cocoon. It was so fun. It was one of my favorite trips, to be honest. I'm only salty that we didn't get to do Saint Tropez, but it was too far away and we ran out of time. I just loved it. We have a vlog from it, so go check that out. But we had blast. But we'll talk more about our trip on our Patreon. We're actually going to do a whole episode more about this on there, so go check that out, where we go fully into depth and like funny stories and other things. Like we went to Monaco, which is one of the wealthiest cities in the world. Yeah. We'll talk about our experience there. That was crazy to see.
Felt like the Hunger Games there.
I mean, the level of wealth was just stupid.
Yeah, it was stupid.
It has how many millionaires per capita? It was like 1 in every 4 person was a millionaire there.
1 in every 3 people there is a millionaire. And there was like 1,000
so wild
millionaires per 12,000 square feet.
Yeah. Yeah. It's something so ridiculous. I was like, what?
80 square feet there is $1 million of real estate.
80?
80
square feet.
80 square feet. It's $1 million.
Like a room.
Half this room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nuts, right?
$1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah. Won't be moving to Monaco.
I don't even think
can't afford it.
I don't even think I would want to be that wealthy.
I don't either.
Because at a certain point,
they say that after like $150,000, your level of happiness.
It's 70.
I thought it was like 100,000,
no,
150.
I think it's like a 70 or 80,000.
Like apparently your level of happiness doesn't actually increase, and you actually don't need as much money, more than $100,000. That's what they say. It's probably changed because of inflation.
Sure.
You know?
I don't know, babe. People look pretty happy on a yacht.
Okay, but I feel like people that own a yacht are pretty lonely sometimes.
That's true.
Because everyone has a friend if you own a yacht.
And imagine being on the yacht and it's just you.
And then you're lonely and you're like, man, this is just me and my yacht.
Yo, you know what's scary?
What?
It's just being on a boat and you look out the window and it's just like you see the pitch black ocean.
It's so scary at night.
The ocean is scary.
At night, the ocean freaks me out.
Yeah, it's scary.
I'm an ocean girl. But at night, thinking about like one time, okay, when I lived in California, they did night surfing and people were like, oh, come night surfing. We all wear our glow sticks. It terrifies me because you don't know if there's a shark at night coming to get you.
Okay, I'm going to play this.
Yo ho.
Just imagine being...
And you hear that out of the boat.
You open up your cruise ship door and then it's just...
Stop. You're freaking me out.
And you see the shark. All of a sudden, someone jumps in the ocean. You're like, someone jumped in the ocean.
You're so...
And then all of a sudden, there's a pirate ship above.
This podcast has taken a turn. What happened to you in France?
I don't know. I'm a changed man.
You're on a different level right now.
I feel like once I got the story of me, I feel like I'm getting back on the horse.
What does that mean?
I've been living with that story for so long. It was good to come clean with it.
That's good. I'm glad you shared that trauma of yours.
But the ocean is a wild place, and it's weird. Like they haven't even discovered like all the creatures.
I'm the one that told you that. You silly.
Babe, that's like a well-known.
No,
fact.
baby. Oh my God, he's so hilarious. You take the facts that I tell you and you claim them as yours.
You told me that, but I knew that fact.
I literally told him. I said apparently they still discover like hundreds of new species almost every single day.
Everyone knows that.
You didn't know that. You said really when we went to dinner, and then you used my fact.
Yeah, I know. I should know that fact because I was in the ocean.
When
we were there. And they were like, who's that guy?
Baby, that was the Mediterranean Sea.
I was there. And they were like, we've never seen that dude before. New creature.
I am a new creature in Christ.
Yeah.
Creation in Christ.
They were like, look at that guy.
Yeah, you got so tan on the trip.
They're like, that's the shortest man we've ever seen. His hair.
Baby, stop. Don't roast yourself.
My hairline, they were like, that's a creature.
We are changing topics.
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know.
How pretty you are?
No. So something also that I touched upon in my book is the adventure chapter. And I think it's really easy to look at people online and be like, oh, it must be so nice that they get to travel and they get to do this. And honestly, like I've always tried to share this with you guys, but like you can find ways to travel on a budget. The only reason why we decided to do this trip was because I found really cheap flights on Google Flights and cheaper than when you can fly like to like New York. Like literally it was way more affordable. And I was like, whoa, we're booking this. So I think a lot of people can think like, oh, that's for someone else. That's not for me. I can't do it. I genuinely believe if you want something bad enough, you will find a way to get it done. And so prioritize that, like create that margin in your budget, and you can stay at a hostel. You can stay at a more affordable hotel, go with a group of friends, like split Ubers, split this, like walk around, rent a bike, use the train. Like there's so many ways you can ball on a budget abroad if you want to really do it. Because I think a lot of people think, oh, I need to have so much money. And I really feel like there's ways you could work around it.
And sometimes traveling, if you're a younger person, you're trying to figure out your life, you're trying to figure out who you're going to marry, all the things. Traveling will help open up this like creative side. Maybe you're trying to figure out what you want to do and you have a dream, you have a passion. It's like go travel somewhere. It doesn't even have to be an expensive place, but like get alone or go with some friends. And I think God can do some things with that. There's something about like getting away. I mean, Jesus did that. Jesus got away.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
It broadens your horizons.
That was, you answered the question I was going to ask you is like, what advice do you have to the person who is at home, who sees all these people going on these, vacations and it looks like a highlight reel. And it's just like people going, man, I have to follow these people because it's causing me to live in comparison, or it's causing me to like be mad at my circumstance and be jealous, or also be like, easy for you to say you're just a freaking influencer who gets to travel a lot.
Right. I think there's two sides of the coin here is like genuinely if someone is causing you to stumble and you really just cannot do it in that season, maybe you can take a break from their page and come back. You can do that. But secondly, I think there's something even more beautiful and something I always encourage people, and I talk about this in chapter 2 of my book, of celebrating other people the way that you'd want to be celebrated, and that there is a timeline and a season for everything. And so maybe it's not your season to travel right now, but it doesn't mean it won't be. And I do think, again, as I was saying there, it's so possible. I said in my book, like, don't forsake even what's around you. Don't forget you can jump in your car, pack a bag, go road trip somewhere, go with your girlfriends on a weekend, go get an Airbnb. I think a lot of us only think that, the only way that you can have a successful vacation is if you go to Europe, or if you go to, you're on a yacht, or you're at a 5-star resort. And so I think there's something so beautiful in being able to celebrate someone and say, that's awesome for them. They worked hard towards that. They are financially stable where they were able to go on a vacation, and believing that that could be you too. I think if you have a limited belief or mindset that that's only for someone else, you're going to stay there. You're going to stay there thinking it'll never be me. And I think that's where you need to change your perspective to say, it could be me. I may need to work a little bit harder, or save up some more money, or make some sacrifices, or just go do a backpack trip through Europe. There's so many options you could do.
There's a good quote. Maybe I actually think I'm making this up. I think this is my quote.
Okay.
Don't let things bother you. Let things motivate you. And what I mean by that is if you, for instance, I had a buddy who he's a buff guy, and I would see him and go, man, I wish I looked like that guy, or I wish I was as strong as him. And instead of that making me compare myself to him, I went up to him and asked him, how did you get that? How did you get those shoulders? How are you able to, lift that kind of weight? And he told me, and if I would have had the mindset to go, man, that dude is a jerk. He's a vanity guy.
Right.
He probably goes to gym just because he just obsessed with himself. That mindset is a cancer. That mindset will corrupt your brain. It's like that's easy for you to say. Like that kind of mindset doesn't work in life.
It's so not beneficial.
Yeah, it's not. And now it wasn't always like that for me. I used to always live in jealousy and comparison, especially in high school.
Yeah.
And now I think when I see someone have a nice car, you feel that jealousy, or you feel that comparison coming, you think to yourself, you don't know.
I think it's super important. I think I've said this before in a previous podcast. So I think you should always try to take envy and turn it into inspiration. Instead of being envious and saying,
come on.
Instead of saying, oh, I wish that were me, or why can't I have that? You say, that could be me, and I could have that too. And I think that's where I want us to shift our mindsets, is not you look at that person, you might feel that envy or that jealousy for a second. I wish I was in Bora Bora. I wish I was on a yacht. Okay, well, that could be me. But I also need you to know that does not always equate to happiness or joy. Like, I think something that is so important for us is being able to not stay in the fanciest hotel and still be appreciative of knowing that, like, the yachts and the bougie, lavish stuff on the trips are fun and there's a time and place for that. But I think we want to be people that are able just to sit on a free beach and be thankful and be like, this was so great. We went on a run around France and it was free and it was so fun. I was like, that was like the highlight of my trip. The things that are free, that are spontaneous, the things that aren't planned, those are the moments I think that make you appreciate life so much more. And I want us to be people that can go to Europe or go to literally wherever and find beauty in everything of like, this is so cool. I get to walk around town. The weather is great. I have a coffee in my hand. I'm with my people. That's what makes this so fun. Not because you're on a yacht or you're in a Lamborghini or whatever.
Keep that same energy when you walk into my closet.
Huh?
You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
You can find the beauty in anything.
Oh, that one's tough for me.
When you walk into my closet and you see my stuff disorganized, you go, Caleb, I can find the beauty in everything.
Okay, you have to remind me of that one because I definitely struggling with that one.
Turn envy into inspiration.
Yeah, I don't envy your closet. I really don't. Mine's all like color coordinated by like season and like long sleeve, short sleeve.
You envy my pickleball swing?
I do actually, but you also inspire me.
Let's go.
You do. But yeah, I just think when you are looking at trips and vacations, it is really easy to look online and be like, oh my gosh, they're thriving, they're this or that. But that doesn't necessarily mean that people are happy, or like if you have to always go on these vacations to find happiness, I think your life back at home may not be really that great. And like you should want to get home to your life because you love it so much. And I think that's where you find true joy and happiness is like, I'm ready to go home to my life because it's better than like this contrived thing that I have to pay everything for, you know?
Yeah, that's good. Man, Janine, it's like you're an author or something.
Who would have thought?
Yeah, it's crazy.
What should my next book be on, babe? Y'all should comment down below.
Yeah.
What should my next book be on? I will let y'all know I do have a devotional coming next fall.
Dirty 30s.
What is it even about?
You're talking about how 30s aren't, you know, because you're an expert. You're 30 years old. You're an expert on being 30.
I'm not even 30 and a half yet.
How about...
I'm not an expert on my 30s
How about
yet.
your next is like, oh, I got a good title for you. It's like, how to be a successful cougar.
I am burning that book.
If you guys don't know, that was a joke because I'm younger than you.
You know the book that I've actually really wanted to do, but I feel weird talking about this because I feel like it's very expected for a quote unquote Christian influencer. But y'all know I'm very passionate about relationships, and y'all have seen my story. You've seen our story. We talk about relationships a lot. I really do think doing a dating book where I talk about all the mistakes to avoid in dating, like what you need to be aware of, how to find the right person, what you should be looking out for, how do you work on yourself, what are like some do's and don'ts in the dating engage process. I just think that'd be interesting. But I think what's tough is there's so many relationship books out there that I'm like, do I really need to write another one? Or does anyone else need to add more? But everyone has their own unique story. Yeah. Like my story is so different. Our story is so different.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I've thought about doing relationships, but I'm like, is that just overdone? Because like I literally saw this TikTok of this guy who made fun of, you know, Christian influencers who got married and then suddenly they're like, I'm writing a marriage book. And I was like, oh, shoot. Well, love you guys. This was a long episode.
You say that.
I think this was our longest one so far.
I don't think so.
I think we'll have to see.
I think we did an hour and 33 with Nick Bear. I think that's our longest one.
It's true. It's true.
Just for the sake of it. I have to do it.
Cowboy Caleb was coming back. Wow. What a transition.
We hope you guys have a very great week.
A happy and healthy week.
You know, ride a horse.
I really like this hat on you.
Thank you.
It's very attractive.
Thank you.
Also, today's our 2-year anniversary of meeting each other or going on our first date.
Did you ever think you would marry a cowboy?
You were wearing dunks like 90% of the time. You were not a cowboy boy.
I grew up on a farm.
It's just who you are.
Well,
right?
no, literally, tell them the music I listen to.
I mean, he only listens to country music.
Only.
Yeah, and worship.
Yeah, country. Well, I like country worship. I like the kind of country song. Yeah, it's like country songs where they're like, I found God in a bar. Like that kind of thing.
Be for real.
That's how country songs are. They're always like, I found God drinking a beer.
In my cow Betsy.
Yeah. My mom made me to go to church, like that kind
when
of.
I was a little boy. Okay, guys, that is today's episode of Happy and Healthy. Thanks for hanging out with us. I'm going to go take a nap. And Caleb's going to go ride a cowboy. I mean,
Ride a cowboy? What are you talking about?
I meant to say Caleb's going to go ride a horse. Oh my gosh, please don't do the other one.
I'm not going to go ride a cowboy. I'm going to go ride a horse.
I cannot believe I said that. Yeah, Caleb's not going to go ride a cowboy. Love you guys. Thanks for hanging out with us on today's episode. I'll see you guys again next week for another episode. Until then, stay happy and healthy. Bye, guys.